What's good? It's your boy JayThat'sMe. Let's get into AEW Dynamite, even though I don't want to talk about this show. This show is boring as per usual. But at this point, it is what it is. So we are going to get into AEW Dynamite from September the 10th, 2025. We are basically 1 week away until All Out, which is being built very subpar, and honestly, it's starting to look like a super Dynamite mixed in with some Collision. That's really what it seems like, especially with the match card. But we'll talk about that as we get into the review more. So we have some news and notes briefly to go over. Note 1, Wardlow is injured. He's out. He tore his knee, so he's going to be out for about a good 8 to 10 months. It sucks. It really does suck. The injury bug is going around massively in AEW. Adam Cole is still out. Kenny Omega, he barely shows up. Wardlow is out. And somebody else is out too, but their name escapes me at this point in time. But we send our best wishes to Wardlow. Hopefully he makes a speedy recovery. And hopefully when he comes back, he can actually do something this time. If not, and he's just still stuck in the same, thing with a faction, being a heavy for a faction, that shit sucks. But that's probably what's going to happen with Wardlow when he comes back. Tony Khan's going to stick him in another faction. He's been in faction since day one. I mean, the Pinnacle, the Undisputed Kingdom. So, he's been a heavy for a while, and I don't like it, but it is what it is. We wish him all the best. Number 2, so the real reason why Josh Alexander joined AEW is because he wanted to face Kenny Omega. Yes, that's why he joined AEW. He also joined AEW to get the bag, but his main reason for joining AEW is to actually wrestle Kenny Omega. It's like, bro, come on, are you serious? Are you serious? Are you fucking kidding me? It is what it is. I mean, it's not that important. He's there to get the bag. Maybe him and, maybe Josh and Omega could have a match. Maybe on Collision or Dynamite. I doubt it would happen on pay-per-view. There'd be no need. Josh Alexander is washed, basically. I mean, he's just there just to, get the bag. But him versus Omega, I'm not interested in that at all, period. It would be boring. Now, if this was Omega from like 8, 9, 10 years ago, yes. But now, especially with him slowing down and him with diverticulitis and all that, no. I think that Omega should still be doing the part-time run that he's on. Keep doing that, and after a while, kind of hang up his boots. So there is that. All right, let's go ahead and get into the review. So Bryan Danielson was out on commentary for the entire show. He came out first, got a really good reaction as per usual. They are still in Philadelphia, so they're there. First match of the night. Hangman Adam Page defeats Josh Alexander. Who cares? I don't care about this at all. I didn't. This is a waste of time. Hangman wins via the Buckshot Lariat. I didn't even watch this match at all. I just left. I just didn't care about it. And then when I came back from doing what I was doing, I saw Kyle Fletcher in the ring. And so, Hangman, he had a conversation with Kyle Fletcher. So, he said the most important thing in AEW is wrestling. That's what Hangman is here to do. He is the All Elite Wrestling Men's World Champion. So, Kyle Fletcher shows up. along with the Don Callis family, who says that Hangman's words are sentimental, but will not matter because the Don Callis family and the pro wrestler run AEW. There's a more pressing matter. Kyle Fletcher then threw out a challenge to Hangman on Collision and relates a response. Hangman says that he's lucky his life wasn't fried out of this venue after what he did, but he understands it. If Kyle really wants to make a point and speak to the world champion, then he can get in this ring and speak to him directly. So Kyle Fletcher gets into the ring. So basically, Hangman says one thing he sees above all else is himself in 6 years sitting across from Chris Jericho, dreaming of being a champion. He says that Kyle Fletcher's full of potential, but he's not afraid to tell Kyle something that's hard to hear. When he tells Kyle Fletcher that he's not ready, so Kyle he then scoffs at this, telling Hangman that in the crowd that he tried this before, but he's already a champion and everything else. Who cares? Kyle continues on, and he basically accepts Hangman's challenge. Hangman challenges him to a match. Him and Kyle Fletcher at All Out for the AEW World Championship. Who cares? This seems more like a collision match or even a Dynamite match, if we're being honest. That's just what it seems like to me. That's what it feels like. This does not feel pay-per-view-esque or pay-per-view worthy. This actually feels like an opener that you would do to a Dynamite at best. But it is what it is. It seems like Tony Khan is just throwing shit at the wall and see if it sticks. So, that's how we started off the show. Moving on. So, MJF, he's backstage. He said he cut his honeymoon short because of how much he hates Mark Briscoe. He claims that his new bride threatened to call it off if he left the house, saying that he was married to the game and to hate long before he met his wife. So he left his house and made the way to Collision to settle a score, and with a chance to deal with Mark Briscoe. He's willing to say the same thing he did on the wedding night. I do, by God I do. So that's fine. He challenged, So I guess they're going to have a match at All In. Who cares? Mark Briscoe's going to pick the stipulation. This is fine. Maybe like an I Quit match or something like that. I don't really care. Whatever. Moving on. So the Young Bucks, they're backstage trying to enjoy the food and catering. They talk about the $500K 10-man tag for the main event, which sucked, by the way. They can't get a seat with the Dark Order. They find a spot to Brandon Cutler, their old pal, who tells them to shut up. And then he dips out, that being Brandon Cutler. Moxley and crew, they show up. Well, my bad, just Moxley by himself shows up. So he clears the rest of the table to talk with the Bucks. He offers the Death Riders share the prize money to make sure the Bucks show up to win. All right, whatever. That's fine. Who cares about this shit? Alex Windsor and Riho, they defeat Emi Sakamura and Mercedes Moné. Riho defeated her mentor. Who cares? I don't give a fuck about this shit at all. This is a waste of time. Moving on. This leads us into a backstage segment involving Ricochet and the Gates of Agony. So they address the Hurt Syndicate, with Ricochet offering a gentleman's agreement for the pair to keep their friends backstage so they can handle things one-on-one. When all said and done, they'll have the momentum going into All Out, and they'll have no choice but to respect Ricochet and the Gates of Agony. And this is a demand. Okay, whatever, who cares? Moving on. Stokely, Hathaway, and FTR, they come out. Stokely addresses the comments people have been making towards him, So Dax cuts in. He stops him, essentially challenging anyone in the crowd to a fight, or daring anyone to get into it. So, basically, they put their hands on one of the people in the crowd or whatever. Officials come down to break it up, and there is that. Moving on, Ricochet defeats Shelton Benjamin via a roll-up. I was pissed at this. This made me want to saw my television in half. Why is Ricochet beating Shelton Benjamin? I don't understand it. I get, they want to push this faction and all that, but come on, man. Shelton is just too damn good. Even at his age now, in his late 40s, he's still good. I don't get it, but it is what it is. Who cares? I just wish that it never would have occurred. So, the Hurt Syndicate, they come out and they attack the Gates of Agony, and then officials break things up. All right, that's fine there. But this feels more like a match on Dynamite or Collision. This doesn't feel like a pay-per-view match. But whatever. Moving on. So, Hook. He is backstage. He addresses Samoa Joe and the Ops. He respects that they will always have his back, but maybe it's time for Hook to stand on his own, or maybe not. I don't care about this at all. Hook to me now is a lost cause. I don't know what they're going to do with Hook at this point in time. I'm kind of over Hook, if we're being honest. I just am. So, whatever. Moving on. So, Don Callis, he's backstage with Kyle Fletcher. So, he admits that Kyle doesn't need anyone's help, and he trusts that someone like Kyle Fletcher will bring the title home to the Don Callis family. So, Kyle Fletcher confirms his intention to bring the title to the family. So, that is fine there. Moving on, Toni Storm wins the the Philadelphia street fight against Sky Blue. This has some of everything in here. So basically, Toni Storm was dressed like Sandman, which is kind of cool. Throwback to him, that was great. So there were mousetraps in this and everything and all that. I believe that Sky Blue bit the nipple of Toni Storm, which was hot. That was pretty cool. That was great. And then basically, Toni Storm got the win via the Storm Zero. I believe it was on a steel chair for the 1, 2, 3. So there is that. Then the Triangle of Madness showed up, which was Tekla and Tekla and somebody else. Is Julia Hart in the faction, I think? Yeah. I think Julia Hart's in the faction. I don't know. I really don't fucking know. I can't remember who's in the faction. I know Sky Blue is in there, and I know Tekla is the leader of it, but I don't know who the third member is. I just can't remember. Her name escapes me. But Julia Hart is in the faction. My bad. Okay, so I was right. So anyway, they get the upper hand for a brief moment. Then JD Hayter comes out to make the save. And apparently it's going to be a fatal 4-way for Toni Storm's Women's World Championship, basically. It's going to be a fatal 4-way. So there's that. Moving on. So the Nightingale, she's backstage. She addresses someone she feels needs to be punched in the face, that being Marina Shafir. I feel like I got punched in the face by watching this dumbass show. She wants to fight Marina Shafir. So Harley Cameron shows up to sing a song about Willow becoming to terms with Chris Statlander. Willow says she's been down this road before with Chris and thinks we know who she's really friends with, talking about the Death Riders, which she probably will join in due time anyway, because that faction is ever expanding. Holy shit. Then Then she tells Harley Cameron to watch her back, and that was it. Moving on, the Death Riders and the Young Bucks defeat the Ops, and who was the other team in the match? I don't even care, really. Bandito, and Brody King, they're in the match. So I guess the Death Riders, they got the win. Who really cares? Post-match, Daniel Garcia shows up. He attacks Darby. He turns heel. He does a curb stomp. He botches it, and then he does another curb stomp. And then he celebrates with the Death Riders, and basically that was the show. So it is what it is. Dynamite continues to be awful week in and week out. Who cares that Daniel Garcia is heel? That's not really that important. This show was uneventful. It really was. But what did you guys think of Dynamite? Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.